Okay, so now you've learned the first two parts of Ironman. Now let's jump on to the third part. Okay, so far you've learned this part. And you learned this part. Now we're going to learn this part. Alright, so let's jump right in. What we're going to do is play a power chord right here on the 7th fret on the A string, based off an A string. So it's an A string power chord at the 7th fret. So you're going to play that. Now you can use a 2-fingered power chord, or if you want to add your pinky in there on the G string, you can use that. That's a 3-fingered power chord, or a 3-string power chord. And what this second note, the third note is here that you're using with your pinky, it's just simply the root over again. Here's an E. This is an E right here. So you're just repeating that same note. So it's up to you. Use the 3-fingered one, or you can use the 2-fingered one. So for this demo, I'll just use the 2-fingered one. So you're going to hit this, and you're going to hold it for 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is a whole note. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you move down to your the 5th fret, and you do the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you're tapping your foot, you got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do a few of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Getting timing right is so important. You know, if you're playing along with the backing track, if you don't have the timing right, you got to be all off. It's going to throw you off on other parts. So you really want to work hard on getting the timing right. Now, one thing I usually do with this is I usually don't even count 1. I just kind of hit this. I just know this is 1. And I go 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. That's my own personal thing. You know, if it's easier for you to count 1 when you strike it, then by all means go ahead and do it. One little other side note I want to talk about here is if you're totally a beginner, I wouldn't really worry about this. But whenever I play a chord like this, I don't keep my finger down like that. I bring it up just a little, so I'm actually using a little bit more of my, my soft part of my finger. Now, normally when you're playing chords, open chords, you want to keep your fingers around, curve them really a lot. You really use your fingertips because you don't want them to touch the strings below. But in this case, I want to mute, so it doesn't matter if I'm leaning these over at all, because this is now muting this lower string, and this one is it's muting this, but I'm already playing it right here. So this is it's just this note and that note that I want to ring out, so I'm all good there. What I do is I bring this finger up just slightly, so I'm playing this. The tip of my finger is just barely touching that that E string. That way, if I hit the E by accident, even though if you did it by itself, it has a little bit of a noise, well, it's not going to show up when you add these other 2 notes. Here it kind of disappears once you play the other notes, because that just overpowers it. So it's kind of a nice, good habit to start working on to get used to doing that. So just in case you, by accident, hit that low E, then you're good. So anyways, enough on that. So we got 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to go over here to our 7th fret on our E string. So now an E string power chord. And we're just going to do 2 quick ones. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then 2 quick ones. And really what this is 1 and. So if I'm tapping my foot, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and. So those are 8th notes if you're not familiar with that. Basically I'm hitting it, the first chords are I'm hitting the chord and go 1, 2, 3, 4, chord, 2, 3, 4, and then 1 and. So now I'm hitting those two chords on a downbeat and an upbeat. So yeah, again, kind of getting used to this timing thing is really a good help. It's going to really help you a lot. So it's worth investing some time into it. If nothing else, you can think of it. I'm going to play 2 quick ones. But you really want to get used to this, especially in the next thing we're going to talk about. So, again, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and just do that a couple times. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and. Yep. So you got that. Now the next part is we're now going to play some single notes on the E string. We're going to play our 7th fret, our 10th fret on the E string, and then we're going to jump over here back to the 7th fret on A string. So 7, 10, 7. So 7, 10 on the E string, 7 on the A string. Now what you want to try and do is just like I'm doing it here. First finger there, pinky over here on the 10th fret, and then back over here to our pointer on the 7th fret. Now you really want to do that. I know the pinky is really weak. You're going to have a tendency to use this finger. But the problem with that is you're going to go over here, play this. You're going to jump over here and hit this. Now you're going to jump all the way back over and hit this note. And the chances of you missing that note, hitting the wrong string, hitting the wrong spot, increases by a drastic amount if your finger's way over here. Where if you have your pinky over here, then yeah, either you're going to have a good stretch because you've been playing a little bit. See, now I can just bring it straight down. Or if not, you're going to go like this. You're going to go over here with your pinky, and your finger's going to at least be much closer. Then you can just move over just a little bit. You're less likely to hit the wrong note. So you got those 3 notes, and then there's a second part, and you're going to play this note again a second time. But we want to separate these two. And don't think of it as, okay, I'm going to play this and hit that 2 times. You want to think of first time you hit that, it's the end of the first riff, and the second time I'm going to hit it is the beginning of our second part of this riff. So it's 7, 10, 7. Now what we're going to do is going to go 7, 8, 9. Then we go to the D string, 7, 8, 9. The second part is right here on the A string, 7, 8, 9. And then on D string, 7, 8, 9. 7, 8, 9. 7, 8, 9. 7, 8, 9. 7, 8, 9. And put that all together there, all 3 of those. It's 7, 10, 7, 7, 8, 9, 7, 8, 9, 7, 10, 7, 7, 8, 9, 7, 8, 9. So, yep, so that's how that goes. Now, one of the things we want to be very careful of here is we don't want to treat these like chord notes. So, you don't want to be going you know, you want to be playing it like that, or really actually chord notes would be. No, we're actually doing triplets here. So triplets means every time you tap your foot, it's going to be 3 beats per every time you tap your foot. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Or you can think a common way to do this is triplet, 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 triplet. So it's every time you tap your foot, that's when you're going to go and you're going to actually play all 3 notes. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Notice if I hit every time I hit the ground, I'm going to play 3 notes before I hit the ground again, and then that's when I'll play 3 more. So I'll go nice and slow. So that's really, really important to make sure that you keep that straight, because yeah, it can totally mess up the whole rhythm of that. So now we add in those 2 chords before that. It's going to be 1 and. So these were all triplets on each note. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now the first 2 chords, it's just really one and. So it's really 1 and 2, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, or 1 and triplet, triplet, triplet. So if we add the chords in there, it's 1 and triplet, 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 1 and triplet, 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 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1 and 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4. So you see, I was just counting the quarter notes. So as you see, I did 1 and for each beat after that, 2, it was 3 notes, 3 was 3 notes, and 4 was 3 notes. So you gotta really be careful. You make sure you play that right. You know, the first 2 are just 8th notes. Next one is 3 notes for that one beat. 1, 2, 3. Next beat. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yep. And then play that whole thing through. It's 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1 and triplet, triplet, triplet. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1 and 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1 and 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. You know, whatever way you want to count it. 1 and 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Or 1 and triplet, triplet, triplet. Whatever way you want to do it. But it's really, really important that you get that timing right. Alright, so there you go. There is part 3. And that one, you really got to make sure, as I've mentioned a few times, is you got to get that timing right, or it's just going to kind of throw things off. So kind of work on the triplet type of approach. And you know, just look around, and if you have problems with triplets, look around on you know, the internet, and you'll be able to find some lessons on triplets and stuff. But hopefully I kind of gave you a pretty decent explanation there of how to work that. If you have any problems, then just let me know, and then I can go over that a little bit more with you. I can make a whole lesson out of how to do triplets. But yeah, go ahead and take your time with that. Break it all up. Work on that. And yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, we'll do one more lesson on this, and it's just a nice little short lesson where we'll show you the kind of the little riff to wrap this all up. So there you go. There's part 3.